Hello, this is Diaz and a new author's story for my channel Russian Revenge Story. Enjoy listening. Anna was only 20 years old, but she already had a heavy burden of hardships and painful memories behind her, which she preferred to keep deep inside. The girl had recently gotten a job as an operator at a gas station, a modest place where she could start an independent life. Anna grew up in an orphanage, and she recalled that time reluctantly, with some kind of inner tremor. She had almost no friends. In the children's collective, there was no friendship, but rather fierce competition, where everyone tried to prove their superiority, and the weak were simply pushed aside. The nice gas station attendant was fired for helping out a helpless old man in a Zaporozhets with gasoline. Everyone just giggled, but when he returned, there was no longer any laughing matter. But Anna was not always an orphan. Until she was 6, she had a mother, a warm, gentle woman with tired eyes, who tried to give her daughter everything she could. After her death, the girl was left with her stepfather, a heavy-handed, hard-drinking man. He was almost never sober and would get irritated by the slightest noise. A creaking floorboard or a child's laughter could set him off. Then he would snap at Anna, beat her, sparing no effort. After his wife left, he went completely downhill. He lost his job, stopped looking after the house and the child. There was barely enough money for a bottle, and he didn't even think about feeding the girl. Anna often sat hungry in a cold room, where the wind blew through the cracks in the windows. Fortunately, the neighbors noticed how the stepfather treated his stepdaughter. They often heard her crying through the thin walls, saw how the girl, pale and thin, wandered around the yard in search of food. One day, unable to bear it any longer, they called social workers. They arrived quickly, inspected the apartment, dirt everywhere, empty bottles, the stench of fumes. The stepfather, dead drunk, could not string 2 words together in his defense. Anna was taken away that same day. Her condition, exhaustion, bruises on her body, tangled hair, spoke for itself. Soon the girl was placed in an orphanage, and life itself punished her stepfather later. He died of carbon monoxide poisoning in a fire, having fallen asleep with an unextinguished cigarette in a shabby apartment, which he himself had burned down. The orphanage became a salvation for Anna. It was warm there. They fed her 3 times a day, and teachers kept order. It was much better than life with her stepfather, where every day could end in beatings. After leaving the orphanage, Anna received a small apartment from the state, old, with worn linoleum, creaking doors, and peeling paint on the walls. The neighbors, elderly and suspicious, looked at her sideways with apprehension. They whispered that an orphan, especially one so young, would probably be disadvantaged and would bring suspicious individuals into the house. Anna felt their gazes, but tried not to pay attention while arranging her modest home. The only person who helped her was Valentina Nikolaevna, a teacher from the orphanage. A woman with a kind heart and a warm smile, a mother of many children herself, treated her charges as if they were family. She immediately liked the meek and sweet Anna, and a friendship developed between them. Valentina Nikolaevna helped the girl with the documents for the apartment, supported her with advice, and Anna, in turn, was drawn to her as to the mother she never really had. For 2 years, living independently, she did not forget to call her mentor and visit her in a small cozy house on the outskirts of the city. Valentina always greeted her with joy, treated her to tea and pies, and her children, already grown up, invited Anna to family celebrations, New Year, Easter, birthdays, so that the orphan would not feel lonely. Finding a job was not easy. Even the most difficult and dirty vacancies required experience or education, which Anna did not have. In the HR departments, they looked down on her, skeptically examining her thin figure and modest clothes as if she could not cope with anything. She went through grueling internships. She washed floors, carried boxes, stood behind the counter, but they did not pay money for this, and in the end, they still refused. Anna did not give up. She went to offices, offered herself, assured that she would try, that she would become the best worker. But the employers winced, shook their heads, and she left with nothing. Finally, she was lucky enough to get a job as a gas station operator. They gave her a blue overall, did a short internship, and hired her right away. There weren't enough people. They took anyone who was ready to endure 12-hour shifts and the smell of gasoline. The work turned out to be difficult, but Anna was happy with the stability. Only one thing bothered her: the behavior of her boss, Daniil Valerievich. He owned a chain of gas stations and was known as a lover of pretty girls. A wife and 2 children didn't stop him from indulging in fleeting romances. Anna, with her blonde hair and big grey eyes, immediately fell under his sights. She caught his lustful glances, which made her feel uneasy. Sometimes he came too close, touched her hair, waist, or thigh. "What are you doing?" She shied away, and Daniil only smirked. There was not a shadow of shame in his eyes. "What are you so scared of?" "It's natural. There is always attraction between a man and a woman," he said lazily. Anna flared up. "You are not interesting to me. If you hired me for this, I will quit." He raised his hands as if surrendering. "What are you saying?" "I'm just saying that you have a chance for a promotion." "Just say the word, I'll arrange everything," he added with a wink. Winking, he left, leaving her with a feeling of disgust. Things weren't going well with the team either. Anna tried to fit in, picked up on jokes, smiled, but they didn't accept her. Besides her, there were 2 girls working at the gas station, Svetlana and Olga, both older and more experienced. They had been working there for years, mastered everything to the point of automatism, filling up cars, counting money, chatting with customers. What was difficult and exhausting for Anna was a piece of cake for them. Sveta and Olya felt so confident that they pulled off scams behind the bosses' backs. They underfilled customers' gas, a little unnoticeably, but every shift. By the evening they had accumulated a decent amount of cash, which they divided between themselves. Anna saw this, but she didn't want to join in. Her honesty seemed to her the only thing she could keep after everything she had been through. She began to treat her colleagues with distrust and kept aloof. "You're a fool, Anya." Sveta and Olya laughed. "Who needs your honesty? The clients won't go broke, and you'll get an extra penny. Don't worry about it. Follow our example," they goaded. Anna shook her head. "I can't do that. I'll hate myself for it later," she answered quietly. "You work like a horse, and no one will thank you," Olga added. "Only Daniel is always ready to help if you ask," she giggled. Anna ignored their words. She worked honestly, lived on her salary, albeit modest, and didn't look for easy ways. One day, a kitten came to the gas station, wet, shivering, meowing plaintively. Anna took pity on him, let him in, fed him the remains of her lunch, and warmed him up. After her shift, she took him home. With the cat, whom she named Murzik, life became brighter. Now she was expected at home. A small, fluffy lump met her at the door, purred, rubbed against her legs. Several months passed. Anna got used to it, learned to work faster, even started smiling at customers. But then Daniil started showing up at the gas station more and more often, sullen and irritated. Profits are falling, he complained to the employees. We work around the clock, there are plenty of cars, and there's barely enough money to keep from going into the red. If this continues, we'll have to sell everything, he said sullenly. Look for new places before it's too late, he said at the end. Sveta and Olya were moaning. What a pity, Daniil Valerievich. But their eyes were dancing with relief. Anna wondered, maybe their machinations had undermined the business. And that's what happened. A month and a half later, the gas station chain was bought by some oligarch from the regional center. No one had seen him, and the employees were wondering what to expect. Daniil remained as acting director, monitoring the work. Anna decided not to quit. It would hardly be worse than under him. One day, a red Zaporozhets pulled into the gas station, old but well kept. A bearded old man in a checkered shirt was sitting behind the wheel. What a rarity! Svetlana laughed and Olga supported her. How did he even get there? Daniil, hearing the laughter, came over to find out what was going on. The old man got out of the car, patted his pockets and grabbed his head. Oh dear mummy, I forgot my wallet at home. Girls, help the old man out. He's completely out of his mind, he begged. Anna looked at him with pity. The old man's lips began to tremble. Tears welled up in his eyes. Beleni, pour me some gas, I beg you, he asked. I need to go to the airport to meet my son, he explained in a trembling voice. He'll pay for everything on the way back. He's not poor, he added. I haven't seen him in 15 years, he finished in despair. Olga snorted. What airport, Grandpa? In your jalopy? You want to fill up for free and then have us pay out of our own pockets? She picked up mockingly. The old man in despair reached for his finger. Take my wedding ring as collateral. It's gold, a real one, he said quietly. My wife died a long time ago. I wear it in memory of her, he explained. Take it. I have no one left except my son, he added in a breaking voice. He tried to take the ring off, but it had grown into his skin over the years of wearing it. Anna couldn't take it anymore. I don't need a ring. I'll fill your tank full, she said decisively. Thank you, my dear. I'll give you everything back. The old man bowed. Nothing. Go in peace, she answered quietly. Daniil exploded. What are you doing? Deduct it from my salary, he shouted. I don't have anything to pay you with anyway, and you're handing out gas, he continued to be indignant. Maybe it's because of you that we went broke, he accused her. Anna turned around. Don't make things up. If you want to accuse me, prove it, she snapped calmly. The colleagues stared at her in surprise. No one expected such courage from the quiet Anna. Daniil hesitated, unable to find an answer. 40 minutes later, the Zaporozhets returned. The old man was not alone. A tall man in a business suit arrived with him. Hello, I am Konstantin Mikhailovich Lugovoy, the new owner of the gas stations, he introduced himself. Everyone was stunned. Sveta and Olya, unmarried and lively, immediately regretted that they had started looking for another job. The new boss was young and handsome. And this is my father, Mikhail Yurievich. Konstantin nodded at the old man. It turned out that he had worked for 15 years somewhere far away in the mines. By the age of 25, he had earned $1 million, built a business. He was in no hurry to get married, devoting all his time to business. My father met me in this Zaporozhets, Konstantin continued. I could have taken a taxi, but I wanted my own, he explained. And he told me how one girl had helped him out, he added with a smile. Anna, come here, please, he asked. She stepped forward, embarrassed. "Thank you for helping my father," Konstantin said. "I'm far away. I can't always be there, and you did what I should have done," he added sincerely. Anna smiled. "I'm glad you met." The next day, Konstantin got down to business. The staff was changed, leaving only Anna, who was promoted to manager of several stations. Mikhail Yurievich often drove by in a Zaporozhets, joking, "My son is smart, but he's not quick-witted. To miss out on a bride like you, Anechka," he added with a smile. She blushed. "Your son is amazing." In her heart, she had long sympathized with Konstantin, not embarrassed by the 11-year difference. They had already met, but kept it a secret. And Konstantin hid from her that he was preparing a proposal. A week later, they announced their wedding to Mikhail Yurievich. The old man hugged them, beaming with happiness for his children. If you liked the story, please support me with a like. And to learn about the release of new, interesting stories, subscribe to my channel. All the best to you. Thank you for watching.